Before dawn broke over a small city, when the world still held its breath between night and morning, I entered this life through silence. The hour was close to 6, that fragile border when night still remembers itself, but day begins to dream. They say I did not breathe at first. Perhaps the world hesitated to receive me. But the cosmos whispered, "Stay," and I did. From that whisper a covenant was sealed, that I would walk between worlds, translating the unseen into words, the eternal into symbol. From the first inhale, my task was clear: to tend the fire, to keep it honest, and to remember that light is only pure when it passes through darkness without fear. I was born under the sign of the Ram, Aries, the first spark, the divine yes that breaks inertia. Its fire lives in me still, the will to begin, to move forward even when the path ahead has not yet named itself. But beneath that fire flows another current, a gentler one, born from the sea of Pisces, the last sigh of the zodiac. Through it I inherited the memory of what came before, the compassion of endings, the dream that remembers its source. I am made of both, the flame that dreams, the ocean that dares, a soul forged in contradiction and harmony born of tension. The world sees me through the veil of water. My rising sign cloaks the blaze in calm. To most, I appear gentle, contemplative, maybe even far away. But underneath moves a current of intention older than speech. I was made to listen first and speak when meaning ripens. My words are not crafted to impress, they are made to awaken. I have learned to hear the undervoice in every story, the soul behind the surface. Empathy became my language, silence my mirror. Fire and water, the parents of my being, dance in perpetual dialogue. Fire moves me to act, water teaches me to yield. Air lends me words, earth gives me form. Each day I learn their conversation, how to let passion breathe, how to let compassion burn without consuming. This is my practice, to keep the sacred fire alive but kind, to let the tide wash the ash without extinguishing the flame. Numbers too have spoken to me, for they are stars translated into rhythm. The pattern of my birth reduces to the intertwining of 3 and 8, creation and mastery, expression and structure. The 3 made me a teller of stories, an artist of meaning. The 8 made me an architect of consequence, a builder who understands the cost of every wall and bridge. Together they define me, the artist builder, the one who shapes worlds through word and discipline. My soul urges to freedom, 5 beats in its core. I must explore, I must transform. Freedom is not a luxury, it is a sacrament. My expression is 6, the healer's vibration. I bring order where there is chaos, and leave the world calmer than I found it. And my birth number is 9, the Redeemer's path, the call to turn wounds into wisdom. In maturity, I walk beneath the light of 11, the master vibration. It no longer asks me to seek the flame, it commands me to become it, quietly, steadily, without spectacle. Through the turning of years, I have felt the numbers like constellations of time. In my youth, the triad ruled. I learned to speak, to create, to find rhythm in confusion. Later came the test of 8, the era of power and matter, banks and offices, the illusion of control. I built towers of achievement and heard them echo hollow. Now I stand beneath 9, the cycle of release and offering. What was once heavy becomes light enough to share. Soon will come one, the beginning anew, the rebirth that rises after surrender. I no longer see these as predictions, but as reminders that growth is not random, it is rhythmic. The universe expands in spirals, and so do I. Fire demanded courage, water demanded surrender, air taught me understanding, earth demanded endurance. When I gave too much to one, imbalance taught its lesson. Only when all bowed to the same center did peace arrive. I live now as a steady ember, not a wandering blaze. My work is not to escape this world, but to transmute within it. Each word I speak, each silence I hold, each act of presence is an operation of the great work. the refinement of awareness until it shines. I am not after miracles, I am after integration. I do not purify metals, I purify motives. The alchemy I practice is inward, turning confusion into comprehension, pain into power, matter into message. The fire that empowers also tests. When I wear it as a crown, it burns me. When I hold it as a lamp, it guides. My trial has always been to act without domination, to speak without noise, to lead without vanity. The command I follow is simple: heat without haste. Transformation is not violence, it is patience carried through pressure. Every honest act refines the world a little. Each story told with integrity becomes a philosopher's stone. Each soul that feels seen becomes a mirror polished by our shared fire. This is the rhythm I live by, as above, so below, as within, so without. When I change with awareness, the universe expands in response. At sunrise, I whisper, I will tend the flame. I will tell the truth. I will trade comfort for clarity when clarity calls. I will not rush the fire nor fear its silence. I will remember that every ending is a preparation for renewal. I was born beneath a covenant of fire, but my purpose is balance. To live as both spark and sea, to speak as one who remembers the beginning, and to listen as one who trusts the end. I am Elnad El Kasmenay. The myth of the fallen one is not my despair. It is my story of ascent. The work continues through me, through all who remember that they too are embers of the same eternal flame. The dawn breaks again, the world inhales, and I, child of fire and tide, rise once more to tend the light.